All right, welcome everybody. Let's talk about what happened in the market today. We'll first look here. Well, we'll do what we always do. We'll look at the weekly, daily, and the trade of the day. But let's take a quick look at my personal trade of the day. This was $2,000 day, really nice. This is the S&P 500. These are the futures, the E-minis, and we'll take a look at this a little bit later too. At some of the trades of the day, we'll look at this. But this was me taking advantage of something here. It looks like it was about 11:35-ish right here with the GITIS Plus indicator. That's what this is right here. It's GITIS Plus indicator. Okay, and I was watching this very carefully, and they had this nice run up during the morning hours, kind of pre-market, just pre-market, or right at the market open actually. Because I'm in Texas, so for us it's 8:30. So it opened up right here, market, intraday, took off, stalled a little bit, took off again. I was busy during this time, this like 2-hour period here. I couldn't really trade or whatever, the day job was calling, right? So I had to do my day job stuff, had some meetings, whatever going on. And then as I got up into this area, I could see the market was looking kind of exhausted. I mean, that's a telltale sign that the market's getting a little exhausted. Remember, this is the 15-minute chart. So the hourly chart at this time looked like it had a little room to go, which is what this is right here. Basically, it ran up a little bit higher. But even the hourly chart kind of ran out of gas there a little bit at that time. And I jumped in, I think, let's see. I jumped in on this candlestick right in here. So it was a little bit early, but the GITIS Plus indicator was telling me pretty much what I needed to know. I liked what I saw here. I saw a divergence on the SMI. This is the SMI here. Okay, this is the GITIS Plus indicator. I'll just put GITIS Plus with a GP. Okay, and it was already kind of looking like it was going to roll over. I got in a little bit before that. It ran up here to, I think it was, I think up to 48.04 or something like that, right up in this upper wick. So kind of had to wait that out. Then it started to pull back. At some point, you can see a slower wick. It got all the way down here. I think it got down to 47.85 and a half or something like this. 47.85 and 3/4. I got out at 47.86. Literally got out right almost exactly at the bottom of this candlestick at this wick. At that point, of course, it was a full candlestick, and then it retracted back up. So the timing was really good. Met my goal for the day, so just kind of wanted to share that. But this is kind of a typical trade that I'd be making is, taking advantage of the GITIS Plus indicator, looking to see if the SMI, especially if it's given divergence here, and it's looking very peaky, getting ready to roll over. Okay, you got candlesticks up here that were looking kind of exhausted. If you got that going on there, right? These got these doji looking candlesticks, and right, they're just looking like they're running out of gas. Now sometimes the market will gather up itself and go for another run up. You know how it is. Sometimes it'll take off. So, but in any case, this was a really good indicator, and I liked what I saw on the hourly chart as well. I thought it was good enough. I thought I could run even a little higher, but turned out really well. Okay, so that was my personal trade today. Let's look at the rest of the charts. Okay, so here we are on the weekly chart, and somebody's dinging me on the phone. Hello, phone. And we've got kind of a small week going on so far right there, a range of about 80, almost 89, and got some divergence going on down here. Looks like it wants to do this. There's a January 14th cycle low. Okay, we're going to see how this plays out. Will this candlestick kind of retract and end up being kind of doji-ish or red by the end of the week? That's going to be really important to see which way this goes. As far as whether or not we get a continuation down into this cycle low. If it stays green, it's not that this cycle low can't happen, but it may not be as deep. Okay. Or it may not even happen at all, and just this was it, and just shallows out and takes off. So we'll pay attention to this. This candlestick's kind of a big deal by the end of the week, what it's going to do. Okay, let's go take a look at the daily. Now, let me just make this a little bit bigger. We're looking at this candlestick right here. This is the candlestick that just finished for today. I told members, let's see, what was the range here? The range was 36.5, so kind of a small day, smallish day. I told members yesterday, I said we would have a small to medium green day. Well, I was kind of close, but not close enough. It turned out to be a red day, which is fine. And, just looking at the SMI here, it looks like there's some room to go. Okay, but the market's got this weak kind of look to it. It's kind of like it can't get any more momentum going after this big massive day right here. So today's going to be actually tonight. You can see it already opened up. We got a small little sliver going on here. This trading just started for the futures for tomorrow already, because for those that don't know, the futures always start the night before. So we'll see how this plays out throughout the day, tonight and tomorrow. But that's not totally a surprise for this candlestick to be, a little bit of a small pullback day, small red day. Let's see, where did it open up? It opened up at 97 3/4, call it 98, and it closed at 90. So 8-point difference approximately between open and close. And after this big run up, that's not surprising to have a little stall in the market. Okay. So let me change this drawing set to the daily, so we get the right. So here's the January 16th. Something's a little off here. Something's a little off. Let me check you just make sure I'm checking my right, because I think that color is probably off. Yeah, this should really be. You change this to green. It's probably a little confusing. Change it to green. Okay. And then yellow and purple are the same, so I'm not going to put a purple in there. So January 16th is really the cycle low we're kind of looking at here, right? This matches up with the weekly. So right now the market's got that stalled look going on. And is it going to begin to roll over? Are we going to get a little bit more run up and then this? Okay, that we have to wait to see. Yeah, it still is possible this week to get up above this all-time high. That could still happen up over here. The 16th, I think. Let's see. I don't know if that's a weekend. Today's the 10th. So 6 days puts that. What is that? Monday. Yeah. Boy, I think it would put us at Monday. Next Monday. I think this is next Monday. Okay. So there could be a little pop and then a drop. It's not a whole lot of days to do that. Today's the 10th already. Okay. So let's just see what happens there. If by today or tomorrow it doesn't get above this all-time high, then if it just kind of starts going flat, little up, just kind of staying in this area, then I think it's just going to start rolling over, and we'll see by late this week, maybe Friday or Monday or Tuesday of next week, because this could go a little bit further this way, right? It doesn't have to be exactly on the 16th. It could extend out a little bit, a few days. That's okay. So that's going to be the big tell the rest of this week, how these candlesticks form on the daily. Will really give us a lot of information. All right, so let's go take a look at the trade of the day just generally. Right, so here we are on the 5-minute chart. There's also a decent one in the 15-minute chart, which I kind of already showed you on my trade. I leveraged the Giddus Plus indicator on the 15-minute chart today because that's the time I had available. So we won't cover that one again, but here's a 5-minute chart. And last night, I took a trade right at the futures open because I just had that feeling. And the market just tracked sideways for hours and hours and hours and hours. And finally it started giving it up. Started giving it up around midnight. And eventually it made good. I made like almost $1,000 in this area right in here, I think. Okay. But I got up, did my thing at like 3 o'clock in the morning, checked the charts, whatever, and I saw that the market had pulled down right here. And I had some orders placed ready to do what they needed to do, and all was good. Made almost $1,000 from there to there. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that this alert right here was really, really nice. I mean, this thing was just spot on. Eventually played made out really good a few hours later. Yeah. Okay, so that's if you happen to be up late like I was, you can take advantage of that. Okay. If not, well, most people could take advantage of this one. This was 9:45 Texas time here, and this one was really spot on sweet. Of course, this is intraday, so you're going to have more volatility. I mean, guys and gals, does it get any better than this? Look at this thing. Okay, it basically comes in right there on that little, small little looking doji. Let's try this out a little bit more. Okay, comes in right here in this small looking little doji, this little white looking skeleton doji. Okay, this is heading down, so you just gotta be a little patient. Sure enough, it checks up. Guy comes out and taps the, let's see, this is the 24-hour line. I have this green line is 24 hours, simple moving average. Comes out and taps it, starts to curl up, boom, you're in. Off to the races. And, you know, most people are gonna get out in this area. So let's say you wait a little bit, you get in right here. That's 47.80. You get out at 47.95, 15 points. Okay, it's you. This whole area is like huge money. I didn't get, like I said, I didn't get a chance to trade this. I wish I did, but I was busy in meetings. I just couldn't do it. Okay, I took advantage of this instead. But this was really if out of all the trades, if you really wanted to grab the best trade of the day, this is it right here. This is the moneymaker from about, you know, like I said, I guess this was about 9:45, kind of got to wait a little bit, maybe 10 a.m., all the way to about, I would say by an hour, exactly an hour. As you get up into here and this red candlestick kind of kicks in like that, you probably a good idea to get out, okay? And some say, well, why wouldn't you get out right here? You could, you know, and then you'd re-enter here and here. You'd probably give up a little bit, just a little bit of profit in this area, but no big deal. It's two ways you could play that. And that's not a bad way to go. That's still, you know, not quite, let's see, let's get rid of that. Not quite, not quite 10 points, probably about 8 or 9 points in this area. It's still really nice. And then re-enter over here. Pick up another 6, 7, 8 points, maybe somewhere in this area. For the mature trader, probably just stay in it because you can see the MACD is doing its thing. There's no reason to get out. Let the market do its thing. It chucks sideways. That's very typical for it to get up here, kind of pause, and then take off again. Okay, but that's two ways you could do it. You could just stay in it and go again, or you can get out. When you get to that big candlestick right there, you re-enter. You give up a little bit of profit in this area, but it's no big deal. And the two together, you know, the two pieces together, that little piece and that little piece, you know, that's bank, right? It's nice. So I think for a beginner trader, that's not a bad way to go. You can pay a little more commission. You are going to lose out on a little bit of profitability because you had to get in and out, but it's really makes things a lot safer. Okay, if all you did is trade this little bubble right here, that's fine. Don't worry about it, right? That's great. That's almost like we said, 5. You're probably not going to catch all of this, but 5, 10, 12, 13. So maybe you catch about 10 of this 12 or 13 points in here. It's fine. It's great. That's great money. Even trading the micros. All right. So that's, to me, the best trade of the day was on the 5-minute chart. And then the second best, which I'm not going to cover again, like I said, was there were on the 15-minute chart, there was one right here that really did well, and you could catch that one. That's what I did. Okay, so you stuck around to the end of the video. That means you want to become a member, right? Okay, so you can see the membership's only $7.99, okay? You can read the instructions below this video. Make sure you read them carefully so you don't have any problems joining. Once you've done that, click on the Discord link. It's going to bring you over to this Get Us server. That's my server. Okay, this is where all the services take place for the members, okay? Then you click on Server Shop here. It's going to bring you to this page. $7.99 a month, guys. Guys, I can easily charge $50 a month. Okay, you see my trades, right? You get these guys. You know, I don't know if you guys saw this video. Like it was like a year or two ago. This guy would always come on every day, be sitting in an airplane, in like a private jet airplane, and he'd say, "I'm the top options trader in the world." You know, and he would be sitting there with this like, you know, smuggy kind of "I'm the best there ever was" kind of attitude. And I'm like, if you're the best, why don't you show us some of your trades? But no, they just put out these infomercials claiming they're the best. And you know what? The guy could be the best. I have no idea. But that's the problem. He never shows any proof. You know, the old bait and switch. Oh, first you have to come in and give me your email, and then come into my website, and then I'll show you what I've done. And it's all glorified nonsense, you know. I did this, I did that, I did this, but they rarely show you like trades that they made on any given day. Right? It's always stuff that somebody's mocked up and made look really pretty, you know. It's like, it's ridiculous, you know. And who knows? They're charging like it's $29.99 a month or $50 a month, or, you know, I'm only taking in a few students. It's always the same old baloney, you know. It's like, oh my gosh. The reason I mention that is because here on my videos, I show the trades. Now, I may not show every trade every day, okay, but I often show my trades enough to where people can see that yes, I'm using my own service, and yes, I'm very profitable using my service, okay. That doesn't mean everybody that's going to come into the service is I'm actually just going to make a bunch of money. Because like I've said many times before, it has a lot to do with how patient you are, your account size. It's going to have a lot to do with your maturity, especially, you know, just maturity, period. In addition to maturity, as far as how do you handle stressful situations, because trading can be stressful. Okay, so there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, hey, join the service and I'm going to give you a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's ridiculous. But I honestly believe if you join the service and you're patient, you know, invest in yourself. You know, spend 3 months worth of investment. What is it, like $25? I mean, it's cheap, right? I mean, you see the trades I've been putting on. You know, I'm trying to show trades off enough to where people can realize the service is the real deal, right? It isn't me pumping out I'm sitting in a jet airplane. Or there was a guy a few years ago, he used to have these books on a bookshelf and said, you know, I was lazy. I used to lay around on a couch, but now I've got cars. I read a book every day. That guy was so phony. I mean, and he would go do these infomercials like in these Hollywood mansions, you know. Of course, he didn't own them, and he didn't own the cars either, but it all looked really good. These guys are just so full of you-know-what. But I honestly believe, in my opinion, because I don't give financial advice here, okay? But in my opinion, if you join and spend maybe like 3 months and just be patient, I wouldn't even trade the first month. I tell everybody that every time I do these videos at the end. I wouldn't trade the first month. Just learn the service. Watch the videos every day that I put out on YouTube. Understand psychoanalysis. Learn what that is. Okay? Take advantage of the Get Us Plus indicator. All right? Like you just saw on the trade of the day, I took advantage of the Get Us Plus indicator. There was one earlier this morning, and then there was another one in the afternoon. I couldn't do the one in the morning, so I did the one in the afternoon. Okay? Do they always work out perfect like that? No, they don't. Because the market can zap you. Okay, so I'm not going to blow smoke up your backside and say it's. I don't like this idea of people going, I have a system. This is not a system. This is just trading. Okay, I don't do systems. Okay, I started trading. I've been trading for like probably 30 years, but the last few years I've been having some decent success. So I decided to turn it into a small business, and here we are. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what comes with the $7.99. This is coin, guys. I mean, it's super inexpensive here. So the streaming charts are at the bottom here. When you join, you click on that. You're going to get the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1-hour chart, just like I showed in the trade of the day today. Okay, and that Get Us Plus indicator, when it does give an alert or an indication that there's a possible trade coming up, it'll send an alert over here to this channel here, the S&P 500 alerts channel. So that's really nice. And the reason why that's really super cool is because if you don't have time to watch the charts all the time, because I know people are busy, you can just set this channel on notification. You right click on the channel, you set notifications on. Let's say you have the Discord app installed on your mobile phone. Well, the phone could vibrate or ring or do whatever, and you know that there's a possible trade. You go check it out, you decide whether or not you want to trade. Okay, the app also loads on desktop, PC desktop, Windows laptops, of course. The app will work on a mobile phone, but make sure that you read the instructions like I said. A lot of this is you have to learn how to trade by looking at multiple time frames. That's super important. That's why I said here in the stream there's the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 hour. Okay, that's intraday stuff, and you also need to be aware of the daily and the weekly charts. So there's 5 charts you kind of need to be aware of at all times. That's why a lot of people struggle with this, because they don't understand the way you make money is by observing multiple time frames simultaneously. Now, you may not trade. You may not place a trade on multiple time frames. You might only place one trade, but you're using all the different time frames to make a decision. That's what this really comes down to, okay? plus the cycle analysis and the GITIS Plus indicator. And there are a lot of other things that go into the service, okay? But anyway, just wanted to talk about what comes with the service. So you got the streaming charts and the alerts that go with it. There's also alerts for gold, crude oil, top 30 stocks, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, okay? So these don't have streaming charts, just the S&P 500 does, but these do get alerts. So for those that want to trade these other products, they can, okay? Now the top 30 stocks, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, if there is a GITIS Plus indicator that comes up on the daily chart for these symbols, it'll go into this channel. So these are people that might want to do swing trades, okay? Okay, the premium symbols at the end of each day, Monday through Thursday, I put premium symbols in here. So it's the same logic I use for the GITIS Plus indicator that we saw in the trade of the day. That logic goes out, grabs symbols. It grabs symbols for futures. It grabs symbols for optionable stocks. There might be symbols in there for industries. There might be symbols in there for symbols that look like they're getting ready to be shorted. So there can be anywhere from like 2 to 4 files in there. It just depends on how the market's going that day. Okay, so that's kind of a nice channel. You can go and look at the symbols. Okay, currency. Occasionally I trade futures, currency futures. But for you Forex people, that's also very nice. I may trade the futures, but if you see me putting a trade on occasionally, I don't do this a lot, but occasionally if you see me putting a trade on for futures, it'd probably do pretty well for Forex as well. Okay, so I might trade the Aussie dollar, I might trade the British pound, I might trade the euro dollar. That's what happens in here from time to time. Okay, every night, Monday through Thursday, I put out a nightly email for all the members. So for members who give me their email, that is. So if you want the nightly email, put your email address in here, okay? And what you're going to get in the email is an attachment of the S&P 500 daily chart, and then I give it, and that's mocked up with the cycles, because the daily chart has a cycle analysis on it, just like we saw in the daily chart in this video. If you're not sure, go back. Those are those big looking half circle things, okay? But in addition to the S&P 500 chart being attached to the email, I also give a few sentences of my opinion about what I think the market's going to do, okay? Solar activity, I do track this, plus other, how do I explain this? This is kind of a big topic, but anyway, I track plasma. That's all I'm going to say. Plasma has a big impact on the earth, has a big impact on crops, has big impact on human behavior, has an impact on the markets. I could just go on and on and on, okay? So this factors into some of my opinions sometimes. And before you call me nuts, you can just see the $2,000 trade I made today, right? So something's working. Okay, this doesn't always come into play, but sometimes it comes into my opinion more times than others, okay? But it's part of what I do to help members make some bank. Okay, fixed income. I might trade some corporate bonds from time to time. And with inflation being as high as it is, occasionally I might put CD rates in here, or I might put something like a savings account that's paying 5% or something, okay? So that's what that channel is. And then these two channels up here, these are just kind of your typical normal chat that goes on. Okay, so everything in this big old rectangle right here, everything here, that's all membership only. That's what you get for the $7.99. All this is memberships only. So if the only channel that's not membership is this one, anybody can go into this channel, but there's nothing in there. It's just like a welcome channel. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the server, okay? Okay. Last thing I want to say is please read the rules, okay? I don't tolerate nasty people. I don't tolerate nasty images being posted on the server. People treating each other really rude or anything like that. I don't tolerate it. I'll kick you. I don't play around on this server. I keep the server squeaky clean. Okay, so if you're going to come in and be a jerk, you're going to get kicked. If you do it often enough, I'm going to ban you. So, you decide. Please be nice. Treat people with respect, okay? Also in here is the refund rules and the disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. I only give my opinion, okay? So please read the rules, okay? I think that pretty much covers it. Again, click on the link for the Discord server. It's going to bring you to this server. You click on server shop right here, and then you can pay for the $7.99 a month, okay? All right, everybody, happy trading. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.